Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Any other business that would have been in administration long ago, and I know that there were previously discussions before I came on the scene about putting the club into administration. In a clear business sense, there was absolutely no alternative but to take this course of action. If we get rid of the tax case, which has been hanging over us like a big dark cloud for the past couple of years, there's definitely a brighter future for Rangers. We can then move.
Institution now in administration. For Rangers Football Club, this moment was a long time coming, but it's still painful.
We need to know what's happening in this club. That is the problem. Nobody seems to want to talk to the fans. Not just actually the club. It's the same departments that come together.
The league's gone, that's it. Right, the bottom line is, the big house must stay open. That's the bottom line.
Why are you laughing? It's not a funny situation.
The new Rangers Football Club have been voted into the Scottish Division 3. A Scottish FA meeting saw 25 of the 30 Scottish Football League clubs vote against Rangers entering the First Division, one below the Premier League. Instead, Rangers will start right out at the bottom, with fans now having to look forward to matches against the likes of Montrose and Peterhead.
The tipping point was a £9 million tax bill due to HMRC. Total debts ran to more than £100 million, and White, who'd been introduced as a high net worth individual, couldn't pay the bills.
Lee McCulloch bails him out. Foster's played it back though. It's a chance for Wraith. Good save. Chance now for Wraith, and it's a goal for
Green. In the last hour, I've been speaking to Green at a West London hospital where he's recovering from a knee operation, putting an end to all reports that he had been arrested earlier in France. Well, Green has been passionately defending his time in charge at Ibrox and has backed Mike Ashley as the man to save it from the brink of financial collapse.
I got a family member ring me this morning saying, "You told us you were in hospital, you've been arrested. What's the truth?" And that's how it affects me, Jim.
With that result, embarrassed by, as what I said earlier, average was at the top of the screen. 2-0 progress, Niederkorn. This was the goal which cancelled out the first leg advantage for Rangers, with Francois scoring, and then it went.
Right, you come into my house and I'll show you the title deeds with my name, Nugeti.
It's Liam Henderson to deliver! David Gray has scored! The captain! Hibs are standing on the brink of history!
It still hasn't sunk in.
This place.
Rangers Football Club, one of the most famous in Britain, has announced it's gone into administration following an
years and years of history. Not just history of the club, family history, families going together.
This storm is coming like a ghost town.
Football, David, we're going through an interesting time. Scottish football, famously a two-horse race. We've now lost a horse. Scottish football's become show jumping. I don't know if you followed that story about Rangers Football Club. They went into liquidation, they owed a lot of people money. I read a full list of Scottish newspaper printed everybody that they owed money to, and it just got surreal. They owed a few million to the tax people. Another couple of football clubs were owed money. Then they get near the bottom, it said £70 was owed to a local taxi company. Right? About 60 quid to a local flower shop, about 60 to a newsagent, and then the one that made me chuckle, it said £40 was owed to a local face painting company. You know the way you read it a few times, does that say face painting company? And the newspaper article never explained why. They never offered any background info. They left that there as if that's a common modern football club expense. £40 to a face painting company. Now the club are in financial meltdown and there's some guy running about the boardroom kidding on he's a tiger.
That's it. Right, the bottom line is, the big house must stay open. That's the bottom line.
Once upon a time in Scotland, Rangers FC ruled football. Giant stadium, endless trophies, and fans who worshipped them. For over a century, they were untouchable, splashing cash and winning everything. But running a football empire costs a fortune. And to keep up, Rangers got creative with their finances. Enter employee benefit trusts, EBTs, a sneaky way to pay players and dodge a mountain of tax. It worked for a while, like a magic trick, until the taxman started sniffing around. Unpaid bills piled up, quietly growing into a financial disaster. The club insisted these were just friendly loans, but the taxman saw through it. The party was over, the debts were real, and the consequences were coming. Rangers' clever scheme was about to explode, threatening everything they'd built. The staunch old team was about to get a crash course in financial reality. The rain in Glasgow was permanent, but so it seemed was trouble. The countdown to disaster had begun. Enter HMRC, the taxman, Scotland's least favourite visitor. He'd watched Rangers' EBT games for years and finally decided to act. On Valentine's Day 2012, Rangers were plunged into administration. Translation, they couldn't pay their bills. The tax bill, £14 million, and that was just the start. Administrators Duff and Phelps arrived, hoping to salvage something from the wreckage. What they found was chaos, debts everywhere, empty coffers, and a club on life support. Fans were stunned, players confused, and the taxman unmoved. The fairy tale was over. Rangers were now famous for their financial mess, not their trophies. The unpaid tax bill was a neon sign of doom over Ibrox. The club's glory days were gone, replaced by panic and paperwork. The taxman wanted his money, and he wasn't leaving without it. Desperate, Rangers tried a last-ditch rescue, a company voluntary arrangement, or CVA. The pitch? We'll pay you pennies on the pound, just let us survive. But HMRC, the biggest creditor, wasn't buying it. He rejected the deal instantly. No pennies, no mercy. The CVA's failure sealed Rangers' fate. The club as a company was doomed. Administrators gave up. The dream of a miracle was dead. In June 2012, the original Rangers Football Club plc was finished. The news rocked Scottish football. Rivals cheered, fans mourned. The mighty had fallen, and liquidation was next. The escape plan had become a spectacular faceplant. It was time to sell everything that wasn't nailed down. With the old company dead, it was fire sale time at Ibrox. The stadium, the name, the history, all up for grabs for just £5.5 million. Enter Charles Green and his Sevco consortium, snapping up the assets and leaving the debts behind. He promised a fresh start, but creditors were left with scraps. Liquidators spent years chasing pennies for 276 creditors. Most got next to nothing. Fans who'd invested in lifetime seats got a fraction back. The old club's collapse left a trail of broken promises and empty pockets. The new owners got the brand, everyone else got burned. The liquidation was a brutal lesson in football finance. The old Rangers was gone, and so was everyone's money. As liquidators counted the remains, Charles Green's new Rangers had to start from scratch. Other clubs voted them into the lowest league, a humiliating fall from grace. Once kings, Rangers now played tiny teams in front of tiny crowds. Rival fans mocked them as Zombie FC, a club that looked like Rangers but wasn't. The term tribute act stuck, suggesting this was just a cover band, not the real deal. The media danced around the truth. The old company was dead, the new one was starting over. The saga became a national punchline, a warning about financial hubris. In 2024, the original company was finally dissolved, ending a 125-year legacy. The new club began its long climb back, forever haunted by its past. Even giants can fall, and sometimes they come back as zombies. Ay caramba!